Hi, from Universal. So I'm over here in City Walk, right across from the boat launch, right there. I know that I just came to Universal with Vernon yesterday, but today, June 26th, 2021, Universal Superstar Parade comes back. That is pretty monumental. There has not been a parade in Central Florida in terms of the major theme parks, Disney and Universal, for over a year. So I wanted to come today to just support entertainment and just see a parade. Again, also I'm hoping to potentially head over to Islands Adventure way over there to maybe ride a VelociCoaster at night, maybe Hagrid's as well. Okay, I'm heading over to the entrance. I was gonna start the video over there, but it's a little bit busy right now. The parade, it should start in about half an hour, so hopefully I have plenty of time to head into the park and try to find a spot. All right, so I made it inside Universal, and it does look like they've already started the setup for the parade, which again is in about half an hour. It starts over by the horror makeup show, and then it goes around the park, and then it comes back in this direction. So what I think I want to do is, because it's gonna take a little while for the parade to make it back over here, I'm gonna head over to where it starts, and then maybe just hang out over there by Mills potentially, or maybe a little bit after Mills, because it might be a little bit busy and popular, because today is the day that the parade comes back. The popularity of the Superstar Parade is not really on par with the Disney Parade, but it's still popular nonetheless. Can you see me over there in the mirror? Hello. There's so much detail in the windows here at Universal Studios, especially along Hollywood Boulevard. So I'm still trying to decide. I don't think I want to be right here when the parade comes out. Maybe I'll be like right across the street, right over there, because I have, I think, like 20 minutes now before it starts. So right over there, that gate is where the parade's going to step off in just a little bit. I want to see if I can maybe find a spot, maybe right over here. This works fine. Okay, so the music is about to announce that it's going to be 10 more minutes until the parade.
10 minutes. The Universal Superstar Parade will begin.
Yes. So that's exciting. I have my spot right here. It's going to be pretty popular and exciting, but I'm ready for it. Okay, so I decided to move because I forgot that there are actually a couple dance breaks that happen along the parade route. One of them is going to be over in New York, and then the other back in Hollywood, but I'm going to head over to New York. Okay, so the parade passes by in front of Transformers. It goes down to Starbucks and then back down in New York. So I think I'm going to go and catch the parade right over here, just so I can see the dance break. Also, by the way, this is back. It's a fire hydrant that blasts water out into the street here. It's not how it used to look, but it still does it. Okay, so if they still do it, they do the entire dance break on this street here. So I just need to try to find a spot along the sidewalk, and I can see them doing their dance break, preferably on that side of the road. Okay, so I think I found my spot at the very, very end of the street near the arcade, because if they do the dance break, then you should be able to see all of the different parade units from one location. Presumably this one, I hope. Okay, so the parade has finally started. It is Universal Superstar Parade for the first time in over a year. I'm excited to see it. No minions right now on the lead float, but that's okay. And of course, there it is, the despicable new floats. But it's so cool to get to see this again. And the dancers are way up there. And here comes the SpongeBob units. There's Patrick and SpongeBob. I don't see Squidward. There's Vector. And there's SpongeBob himself. Hi, SpongeBob. And there's Squidward way back there. Okay, of course he'd be in Jellyfish Fields, right? I love Squidward so much. And there's the Secret Life of Pets unit right behind the SpongeBob units. Should be seeing the breakdown here in just a minute, I hope. Okay, and there comes the rest of the unit right behind this front unit here with Max. And the crowd right now is intense. So right after this unit is the Door to Explore unit, I'm pretty positive, which means the breakdown or the dance break should be happening pretty soon. It's gonna be cool. I'm surrounded by people. Everyone is so excited for this parade to come back. Okay, I wonder if the parade floats are gonna stop here at some point, if they're gonna go past me a little bit. We'll see what happens. I haven't seen a parade breakdown in a little while as well. Okay, never mind. Maybe they don't do a dance break anymore. They used to, but maybe this is a new version of the parade where they just kind of keep on moving and continue along, just so people congregate a little bit less in the streets. Okay, even without a dance break, that was incredibly cool to get to see. Again, they have been bringing the floats out periodically throughout the past year, but it has not been a full choreographed parade. And that was, and I'm so happy that I got to be here on the very, very first day of it. And now I really want Disney to bring back their entertainment. Right now, the Mummy is a 60 minutes wait back there, and just the incredible amount of people that are congregating to see this parade right now and following it. It seems like Universal's pretty much back to normal. It really is. Right now, this just feels like a normal day at Universal, or how I used to. Okay, so I'm pretty much following the parade out of the park. It may rain here soon, so that might have to do with the fact of why they did not do a dance break, but I'm not sure because the weather right now at least feels fantastic. Okay, the parade finally turned the corner. It's spinning out just a little bit ahead out of the park, but it's still really busy. A lot of people are leaving by now, or maybe presumably heading over to Islands of Adventure, which is where I'm heading. Okay, so I have just enough time to make it over to Islands of Adventure to maybe hop on Hagrid's and then hopefully in the night for the night ride on VelociCoaster. I guess we'll see. It definitely was not the most expedited I've ever gotten out of Universal before, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I spent more time getting inside and waiting for a spot than I did watching the parade and leaving. It seems like most people are leaving for the day where they're heading back to the parking garage or grabbing some dinner in City Walk, but like I said, I'm heading to Islands. Hopefully I don't have a problem with the weather before I get in line for one of the rides that I want to do tonight. Okay, so I'm checking out the wait times. I made it over to Islands of Adventure. Looks like Hagrid's is over a 100-minute wait right now. Rip Ride Rocket's a 180-minute wait for some reason. And then VelociCoaster is a 75-minute wait. So both VelociCoaster and Hagrid's, they do have single rider lines. They're not always available or open, but it would be fun to attempt to try to hop in line for the single rider lines. We'll see if I can do this tonight. So with the park being open for only an hour and a half, it would be very risky to head over to Hagrid's and hop in line for that if it's posted at a 100-minute wait. But generally, it's a little bit overposted when it comes to wait times these days. So this is pretty cool. The URES zone is now no longer a URES zone. Now it's just an area down by the water. There's the VelociCoaster over there. So I have a risk right now if I go hop in line for Hagrid's and I wait for that. Then I may get a nighttime ride on Hagrid's, but then I may miss my window to do VelociCoaster. If I hop in line for VelociCoaster and I try to do this, I may do it before the sun sets, and then I may be able to hop in line for Hagrid's. So I'm not totally sure. I feel like in either scenario, I'm probably going to sacrifice an experience on one of the rides. Right now the line looks exceptionally long for VelociCoaster, so that's probably a true 75-minute wait if I'm not able to ride in the single rider line. But then at Hagrid's, I don't know, it was behaving pretty well recently, but then we came with Jorge and Kelly and we waited pretty much double the wait time, or almost, to ride that, and that was kind of stinky. Alright, so I made it to the Lost Continents, and would you believe it, this gate is finally open over here. I've been waiting for this gate to be open for forever. I was going to head over to Hagrid's back over here to try single rider in Hagrid's, but you don't know if they're accepting single riders until you're actually in the queue, versus over at VelociCoaster, you know when you get up to the start of the queue. So I'm gonna head over here across the bridge and see if I can do Hagrid's, or VelociCoaster. I confuse myself a little too easily sometimes when I'm trying to point this camera and talk at the same time. Surrounded by a lot of people, but here comes another train. I've been wanting to see this site for so long, and what's really cool is they built this cage on top of the bridge here. So this might be a recurring availability, just being able to walk across this bridge to get to the VelociCoaster from Lost Continents. Okay, so I'm inside the cage right now, which is pretty hard to see because of the focus. There it is. So the train's about to come by. How cool of a vantage point is this? Getting to see it go by 2 times. This is awesome. That's the cage right back there. The VelociCoaster again. There's that. This is directly across from the Room 6. I can't tell you how many times I just sat over there waiting to see this go by and test it. Now I finally can. So I can't tell if the single rider line is open. I think it's posting a wait time. Currently it states that it's open. But I guess I'll find out. At least I'll probably be riding at night if I get in either line right now. Okay, so I'm seeing it posting at capacity right now. So I guess I'm not going to be riding the single rider line tonight, although it does look that there are a few people that are kind of hanging out along the side over there hoping that it's going to open, but it's a 90-minute wait for the regular line. Okay, so I'm going to wait for just a minute on the off chance that they do end up opening up the single rider line, because there are a lot of people over here and they would probably turn them away if there was no chance of single rider opening up at all tonight. So I'll give it a minute, and I literally waited 2 minutes for this line to open up. So I'm going to be single riding the VelociCoaster. Yay! This is so exciting. So if I could do this in a particular amount of time, for 1 hour at the park is still open, and maybe if I can head over to Hagrid's, they're still open, and do a nighttime ride over there too. So this line has been moving very, very quickly, which I'm very happy about. Generally the single rider line can take as long as the regular line, which kind of stinks, but there's really no expectations with the single rider line because we're in the single rider line. And hello again from outside of VelociCoaster. So I pretty much got in line And then I turned the corner and I put my belongings into a locker, and I rode it pretty much immediately. So the sun isn't quite set yet, but the nighttime lights were on the ride, so I'm gonna go and count it as a nighttime ride because the park does close in less than half an hour now, so I do have time to head over to Hagrid's and do a real nighttime ride on Hagrid's. So I'm gonna go ahead and head back in the direction that I came from, back across the bridge over here, just to head to Hagrid's because I think it's gonna be a little bit easier of a way to get there versus going all the way back through Hogsmeade. I think this will be a little bit better. And alternative. Wow, look at that sky right now. This camera's making the sky a little bit brighter than it actually is. Right now, we're getting to ride that at night. It was so cool, just the lights that were lighting up the train, the track. Okay, heading off to Hogsmeade to get a legitimate nighttime ride on that. But I think the sun is pretty much set. You can just see a very, very slim glimmer of a sunset back there behind Hogsmeade. Okay, so I made it back across the bridge, heading into the Lost Continent to head over to Hagrid's, of course. I think I'm gonna head over to the Three Broomsticks real quick though, just to see what it looks like from behind the Three Broomsticks before I hop in line to do my final ride of the day as Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which hopefully doesn't take too long, and maybe they have a single rider line too. Would have been really cool to see the pink sunset behind Hogsmeade, behind the castle right here, but that sun goes down very fast once it starts to set. It's in a matter of minutes, and that's the golden hour of the day pretty much. But I know for sure that I'm gonna get a nighttime ride on Hagrid's tonight. Okay, so I have 15 minutes before the park closes, so I have plenty of time to head behind for Broomsticks just to see what the coaster looks like behind there at nights and then hop in line. It's a little bit quiet back here right now, and I think that I can walk over there. Usually they have these stanchions right here kind of barricading the outdoor seating area for the Three Broomsticks. It is very quiet and relaxed. Okay. Here comes a train. I forgot to mention that there's still a very extended line that's going down over by the water over there. So if I did wait in line, I would still be waiting in line right now in the regular line. So I looked out so bad with that single rider line. Just waiting a couple minutes. I was there for about 2 minutes. And then they opened up the single rider line, and then I was on the ride within 20 minutes, I think, after that, which was incredibly lucky. Okay, so now I'm heading over to Hagrid's to go and hop in line for real. Gonna have to put this camera into a locker. I put my camera into a locker a lot quicker than I thought I was going to over at VelociCoaster. It happened very, very quickly. But at least here I can hold on to my phone. Okay, hello from my phone in the line for Hagrid's. This is gonna be exciting. The sun still isn't completely down yet, but it's very, very close. I do doubt that it's gonna be a legitimate 90-minute waits because the park does close in pretty much 5 minutes. So probably gonna just walk through the duration of the queue to get to the loading platform. There's no single rider right now, but this still isn't that bad, honestly. All right, made it to the final room. That took about 20 minutes or so, maybe a little bit less to make it onto Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at night. The park closed about 15 minutes ago. Okay, so the ride has been down for about 15 minutes now. It went down pretty much after I recorded that last clip. I feel like every time I'm in this room, this ride goes down. Okay, and about 45 minutes after getting in line, the ride is up and going again, and I'm about to get on. The park closed about 45 minutes ago, but at least I'm gonna get a legitimate nighttime ride on Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, and I am really excited. Okay, it's really quiet, but the ride is over now, and I think there it goes. That was an interesting sound. The on-ride audio turned off. And now it's really dark and scary. Okay, I just got off of Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Finally got to ride it pretty much an hour after the park closed, but it was worth it because a nighttime ride on Hagrid's is just so incredible. Okay, got my good camera back out from the locker. Officially off Hagrid's for the evening. Getting to ride this tonight is such a cool experience. Even though it went down for about 20 minutes or so, still get to ride it, so I'm happy about that. It is pretty cool to get to see the park this quiet and empty. It closed an hour ago, so it makes sense that it would be this quiet, but it reminds me of last year, how not a lot of people are coming to the parks. Last year, I do miss those crowds, but it was a very, very unfortunate time period to live through, and it was really hard on the theme parks, and I'm glad that they've recovered as much as they have, and I hope they continue to. But how's that for a 3-hour experience at Universal, right? Getting to see the Superstar Parade over Universal Studios, and then coming over here and riding both the VelociCoaster and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure at night. Obviously, I did not anticipate being here this late this evening. I thought it was going to be a pretty quick, expedited trip to Universal to watch the parade and ride at least one of the rides that I got to ride today. I got to ride both, so no complaints there, but kind of interesting how that worked out, right? By the time I made it over here, I accepted that I was only going to be able to ride one of the rides that I wanted to ride at night, and it just worked out that I was able to single ride VelociCoaster very quickly and then make it over to Hagrid's before it closed. Although I didn't really get a real legitimate nighttime ride on VelociCoaster. It was more of a dusk ride, but again, the lights were on, so it sort of counts, right? Definitely gonna have to get back with Brennan to have a legitimate nighttime experience on VelociCoaster. It's going to have to be the very final attraction that we do that day for sure, but we're gonna do it. And I know that it's going to be even more incredible when it's legitimately dark. It's going to be terrifying. All right, I'm going to go and head on out because it is getting very late. It's a long walk back to the garage, which hopefully has, for the most part, emptied out in the time it took me to ride Hagrid's and make it to the front of the park. So I had a great day getting to go to Universal and getting to see the very first day of the Superstar Parade. And just seeing that entertainment back was just so cool. Everyone was just so excited to be there. It was so busy too, which was just really great to see. And then popping over to Islands of Adventure and riding Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, and then VelociCoaster right before that. See, these are the things that I mess up on that I usually redo as a clip. So there's a blooper for you, but it's hard to redo a clip when you're like 2 minutes into it already. You've already tried to articulate what you wanted to say at the very end of the day, and it's almost 11 o'clock, so I just need to get through it. And in the video, I had a great day. You already know this, I already said it multiple times. But hopefully I can come back again and ride it tonight with Brennan and just have a night at Universal's Islands of Adventure with Brennan in the future. See, now I'm just flipping up everything, but I'll see you soon. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and goodbye.